Day 2 is where we separate the men from the boys. No queue today. The early bird gets the worm. Say something in German.
Kleiner Wichser.
What's that mean?
You little wanker.
Can't have that. Okay, first round, day 2 against Habu Gabu. Hi Habu. Hey. Okay, so first match of the day, we're against the lineup with Highlander Warrior, Highlander Paladin, Combo Priest, and Token Shaman. I decided to ban the Token Shaman as it's got the best matchups across the board against mine. He bans my Res Priest. Token Shaman was also a good ban for him on my side as well, but either were fine, I think. First game we have our Token Shaman against their Highlander Paladin. They have Finley on 2, and they choose the Paladin hero power, which is pretty nice for me because I happen to have Desert Hare, Mogo Evolve in hand. So on turn 4, they have a wide board. I play, everything, have a super big tempo swing, huge board. On their next turn, they play all their mana and then play a Zephyrus, hoping to find a brawl. But because their board was so wide, I don't think it offered it to them. It gave them a death instead for my big minion. So we dodged the brawl and get a very quick win in that game. Next series we have our Hunter against their Highlander Paladin. We full mull, go in second, and pick up a really expensive hand. We have a Spring Paw, that's the only thing we have. They played turn 1 Secret Keeper. I could have gone like Spring Paw, coin Spring Paw to kill it, but my hand was so expensive. I had like Zul'jin, Siamat, Rag and stuff, so I was like, I really don't want to use the coin in this spot. I had no secrets anyway. And then unfortunately he went Christology Beaming Sidekick on it, and it became a 1-3 after value trading, and then he proceeded to top deck a lot of secrets, and we kind of bricked and just died to the Secret Keeper. I think even if we killed it, we'd have probably lost that game because I really didn't have any good plays going forward. I was kind of holding the coin, hoping for like going like turn 6 coin Zephyrus brawl, but we never got to that stage. Game after that we had our Highlander Hunter against their Highlander Warrior. Expensive hand again, but we had a turn 2 Zephyrus to give us a wild growth, and that allowed us to play an on-curve Subject 9. We did go to 10 cards, so we did overdraw, but we had all the good cards in hand pretty much. We had Siamat, Rag and Zul'jin already, so I didn't mind the overdraw. And then we kind of just took control of the board. The Highlander Warrior does have a lot of burst potential over a few turns with their weapons and their charge minions, so that was something we had to be wary of. But with all the secrets that we drew and replaying them with Zul'jin, we were able to get across the line. The only worry was a Zephyrus Flare, but we dodged that. And then the next game was our Highlander Paladin versus their Highlander Warrior, and we had an okay start. We had Zephyrus and Finley in the mulligan, so that was great. We played Finley on 2, but unfortunately they had a Zephyrus, so they went coin Zephyrus Hungry Crab, and we were very behind on board there. But we didn't panic. Turn 4 we played Bellringer Sentry, managed to get a value trade with that, and then turn 5 we went for a Shadow-Eyed Pain on their Hungry Crab and got control of the board. And turn 6 we had Blessing of Pharaohs, which was MVP in this game, I'd say, because we were very low on life at this point, and that taunt kept us in it. And then we were able to stabilize the board from there and counter push lethal. And the very last turn, like, he was okay on board, so I had to, like, instead of going for full trades, I wanted to set up lethal, So I took a little bit of a risk that I could die to like some combos of cards, but I really wanted to set up lethal on the next turn in case they go for a board control push, because we really didn't have much, but it paid off, and we got the win, and now we're 5-1, moving on to the next round. So, match 7 is Fled. He's just gone to the bathroom there. Okay, so I had a match against Fled. Unfortunately, we lost. Faced quite a strong draw from him. Maybe could have done a few things better. Had a game where I had Highlander Hunter against OTK Paladin. He had nothing on board. I played Secret Keeper on 1, and my turn 2 play was Zephyrus, and I really wanted to hit Animal Companion, but it didn't offer it me. It offered me Inner Rage instead of Animal Companion, which is something that I didn't know it would do there. I thought it would just offer me an Animal Companion as an on-curve play. The Inner Rage seemed like a weird thing to offer in that spot, but I didn't want to pick Brightwing because then I'd have like a board that's just super weak to Consecration or Pyro, Coin, Crystology or something. And unfortunately we didn't get across the finish line. We were 1 off lethal that game twice, which was really unfortunate. Yeah, it sucks. Other games, this Evolved Shaman kind of knighted on me, and we managed to beat the combo priest with our res priest, but we couldn't deal with an Amit with our hunter, and quickly lost the game because they went Amit into cleric, and we were a bit screwed from that point.
Unless like you have other information that it's
Say something ball control like.
Disaster.
That was very perfect.
Yeah. I mean, this tournament was a disaster for me. 1-3.
True.
No.
Ball disaster. Alright. Our next match, unfortunately, was against the Toast Monster. Tried avoiding each other, but eventually it's going to happen. We'll beat him though. Hello, a bit of noise in here, but we got Toast next to me, and we just finished a game. Close series. I won 3-2 as Toast. First game was... What was the first game?
Hunter Paladin.
Hunter Paladin, yeah. Anything interesting in that one?
Not really.
No.
You played cards, I played cards, I died.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And then the second game, I queued my Token Shaman into his Warrior, which is a super bad matchup for me. My general strategy is to just vomit onto the board and hope they don't have an AoE, and that's exactly what happened. And I had 2 Bloodlusts and a board that he didn't kill, and I won that way, so super lucky in that one. Then I had to get the win with the Paladin. We had Paladin versus Warrior first, and kind of close game, some interesting turns in that one.
Came down to like top deck wars.
Yeah, it's a bit of a top deck.
You top decked a Zephyrus, I top decked a N'Zoth.
Yeah, yours
wrong order on that one.
Yours is a little bit better than mine, but I mean, I didn't have a better top deck than Zephyrus though. But yeah, you got the win on there, and then it was Paladin versus Shaman, and Shaman did Shaman things. I got really lucky though. During it, I went for a Zephyrus Brawl and won the Brawl with the Zephyrus when he had a full board. But still lost anyway, so that was good.
Shaman.
And then the last game was Paladin versus OTK Paladin, and I curved that really, really well.
Yeah. Ran out of clears. You had like the rag to finish it off. I just died to the rag. I couldn't play around the rag.
Yeah, you had to take a gamble really.
I think like if you didn't have rag, I'd have been able to stabilise afterwards.
Possible, yeah, possible.
Close set though.
Close set. Shame we had to fight each other.
Yeah, I know.
GG.
It's been a real tournament of team kills.
It has, but that's because we're doing so well.
Okay, what else is in here? Rogue, Aggro Warrior.
Derek, do your best Bradley Walsh impression.
In what sport does Fanny Schmeller compete for Germany?
Okay, last match of the day. Chambray versus Zeno. Last game of the day against Zeno. He's running quite an aggressive lineup. He had Token, Shaman, his own build, I believe. It had a lot of totems like Mana Tide and Thing from Below, which was kind of interesting. Decided to ban his Rogue. Was the safest bet, I think. End up winning against the Shaman game 1 with our Res Priest. He banned our Shaman. Managed to survive until turn 8, where we could coin Plague of Death's board. It was always a little bit risky. If he had like removal plus a Bloodlust, we could have died at some point. It seemed he didn't have the one of the two things there. We had 2 Plague of Deaths, but unfortunately for him, he went for a big Evolve board, and he rolled a Doomsayer, so we didn't even have to use a Plague of Death. We just dropped a card 2, and then we quickly won that game. But I imagine our opponent was pretty annoyed. He doesn't know right now actually that we had the clear anyway. Anyway, game 2 was his token Shaman against our Hunter. And it was pretty miserable. I'm not running Explosive Trap, I'm not running Unleash the Hound, so in terms of dealing with wide boards, pretty hard. But he's running like all this totem synergy stuff, so there's room to get ahead on board and stay that way. But it didn't actually happen, and then eventually they're going to draw the Evolve card, and then we get blown out of the game. Couldn't find a Zephyrus for a brawl there, and then we quickly died. So it was 1-1 then. And then we faced our Paladin into their Hunter, which is a good matchup for the Paladin, I think. He's not running Secrets in his Hunter, he's running a different version, which is probably better in other matchups, but worse in aggro mirrors, I would say. And we managed to eventually get across the finish line against them, which was quite grindy. If they had a Zul'jin at the end, we could have lost, but they still had half the deck remaining, so we dodged it thankfully. And then game number 4, we had our Hunter versus their Hunter. I think it was probably a better matchup for our Hunter because the Secret's super annoying. Pressure Plate does really well against like Unleash the Beast, for example. We managed to curve out pretty well with Secret Keepers, just on curve plays pretty much every mana cost. We coined out a Subject 9 and weren't behind on board, which is always great. Thinned our deck and we were able to find all our bombs, including Zul'jin, Unleash the Beast. We had Siamat and a Zephyrus and like Ziliax and Rag, which are all really good cards in the matchup. We didn't actually have to play any of them. Our hand was so strong that we just curved out to Zul'jin, and we kept like Rag and other things in reserve. But yeah, took the win there. They Zul'jin first, but we Zul'jin second, and our Zul'jin was way stronger because we had all the secrets. We had a deadly shot in there as well, and we got to choose the value trades back into them. So we just won the game from there. And we finished today 7-2, which is great. If you told me when I was 0-1, when we started yesterday, the first series, that I'd end 7-2, I'd be so happy. There is a cut-off for top 8 at 7-2, so some of the 7-2s make it to the top 8, but I believe my tiebreakers are too bad for me to make it to top 8, but I'm still pretty happy with how the tournament went, and 7-2 for us. Get some extra prize money. That's going to wrap up the tournament for now. Might do some other footage on other stuff, but until then, bye-bye. Yo, Language, how's it feel to be in GM?
Asterisk, but it feels pretty good.
Okay.
That needs to be done for you to be on camera, and that was all you.
Yeah, you'll have some time to watch it, and come in, sit down, bring your devices, you can practice, relax, and then we'll go right into the...
It's always surprising how how much people smoke compared to like the UK. People don't really smoke
Baby, you know it.